Alright, today I want to talk about is standard deviation. Standard deviation is the amount of variation amongst the mean. Standard means typical. Or average. Deviation refers to difference or subtraction. So this is your typical difference or average subtraction amongst the mean, amongst the center. And in standard deviation, we're always talking about the center being the mean. It has a big scary formula. Let's write that big scary formula out. Summation, so that's my summation, my sigma. What am I going to sum? I'm going to sum all the differences. So my differences are going to be x minus x bar, because they're all subtracted from the mean. We're going to square them to make them all positive. Divide them by how many that I have to find the average. Then I need to take the square root to come back to, because I squared them up here, take the square root to go back to normal. This is my standard deviation formula. Right, so let's do this. So I'm going to take a set of data. I have a set that I already made up. We're going to call this data, it's all popcorn. So it's bags of popcorn sold, pretend like some kids sold some popcorn. How much variation's in that data set? So I start with my x values. So it's all my x's. My x values are just each value in my data set. So I'm going to make a little list of them. 4, you know what? Alright, so let's do an example. I have bags of popcorn sold. Maybe some kids sold some bags of popcorn. What we're going to do is find the typical difference, the standard deviation of this little data set. I want to start with my x values. So my x values are just each piece of data inside of my data set. So 4, 10, 28. Remember, my deviation is all deviations from the mean, so I have to find the mean. So x bar equals, alright, so 4 plus 10 plus 28 equals 42 divided by 3 pieces of data. 42 divided by 3 gives me 14. So my x bar equals 14. Now to find the difference or the deviation, so this is going to be x minus x bar. Remember, it's a deviation from the mean. So x minus x bar means each piece of data deviating from the mean. So 4 minus 14 gives me negative 10. 10 minus 14 gives me negative 4. And 28 minus 14 gives me a positive 14. A quick check is, if I add all these numbers up together, they should equal 0 because they have the same amount of deviation on the left and the right of the mean. Negative 10, negative 4, and 14 equals 0. Next I want to square it because I want to find the positive values, not the negative. So x minus x bar squared gives me each value squared. So negative 10 squared equals a positive 100. Negative 4 squared gives me a positive 16. And 14 squared gives me 196. What I want to do is sum all these pieces of data. So the sum of all these, use a summation notation, say the sum of each one of x minus x bar squared. 100 plus 16 plus 196 gives me 312. 312. I want to divide by n to give me the average. I have 3 pieces of data, so 312 divided by 3 gives me 104. And then I want to take the square root of everything, the last part of my equation, square root. So 104 divided by, square root of 104 gives me approximately 10.19. I'm sorry, 10.20 is if I round it. And what is that? 10.20 bags of popcorn.